What I wanted to talk to you about today is your own creative consciousness. Because the people who have governed us and guided us for so many tens of hundreds of years or hundreds of years realized some important facts. And they realized that number one, every single individual person has their own creative level of consciousness within them. So if you think about creating a reality, creating a world, you have to a very large degree, have a lot of those people running with that narrative so that that reality becomes an existence. Because if people don't believe that to be true, it won't be true. If people don't follow that path will not be walked. So what I want to share with you in this video, especially if you're a light worker or a starseed or somebody who consider themselves a leader, be very aware of your consciousness and your ability to create. Because a lot of people put posts up that this is what's going to happen in the next few years. Maybe, maybe not. Because if we are to understand the people, you have to understand that their conditioning is so brilliantly weaved together that if they read something that says this is going to happen in the next years without understanding your context, they might very well start running with that narrative saying this is what's going to happen in the next few years. Therefore, it ends up getting closer to being created on Earth. Because I'll share something with you. The reality, a narrative that I am running with in my life is that everything that appears to be complete and under control at the minute will be dismantled and it will crumble. And I'm seeing evidence of that time and time and time again. But this is the reality that I am looking to create. So my question for you is, what is the reality that you're looking to create? Because to understand consciousness is to understand that there are certain levels that you can begin to understand. You have those levels in you naturally, but understanding those levels is what gives you more responsibility to control and work with your consciousness. Give you an example. Third dimensional consciousness is the mind, body, spirit. Okay, it's all about your human emotions. It's all about your physical structure, the physical things that are around you. Fourth dimensional experience is you beginning to wake up to your actual ability. Okay, so fourth dimensional consciousness is you realizing who you are, realizing what you want, realizing that you are an expressive being that has ultimate freedom to express his or herself on this planet. Fifth dimensional consciousness is the consciousness that looks within. It is the consciousness that then begins to see between the lines, to read between the lines, to understand the geometric structure of soul lessons and individual people's minds and consciousness. Okay? This is the fifth dimensional consciousness. It's where you're able to look down and see everything that's going on, understand everything, feel it, and open yourself up to your higher level of gifts. But when we start to move into the sixth dimensional level of consciousness, this is architect consciousness. This is where you begin to understand that your thoughts and your mind has a more open responsibility to creating in your life. I'm going to pause there. Okay? So for those of you that have already moved into your fourth and fifth dimensional consciousness, if you're starting to touch upon the sixth, you have to realize the things you are sharing are extremely important, and discernment must be used. You must discern for yourself whether it is necessary to run a narrative that says this is absolutely going to happen in the next few years. Because if you are putting that out there and a lot of people are walking with you on that path, whether you believe that's going to happen or not, they might start to create it, because in a loving, truly loving way, they are still perhaps in their third dimensional consciousness, which is simply emotions, existence, and living more in this realm. And I try to, if this has become confusing for anybody, I apologize. I'll try and clear this up in the next few days with videos, but they are living very heavily here in what this is, instead of seeing that there actually is more than what it is that we see through our eyes. Okay, maybe that's a better way of explaining it for you guys. But understand your creative consciousness, understand your creative ability, because this is completely and utterly paramount for, especially for those of you who are now leading, because your leadership, the things that you are doing within yourself, is going to reflect and ripple and echo throughout the entirety of the next chapter of our history. It already is echoing. Your ripples don't just go backwards, they go forwards, out and around and backwards in time. When a drop of water hits a lake, the ripples go out. They don't go in one specific direction, unless there are barriers there, but usually in the center of a lake, it'll ripple outwards, all in every direction. Consider that. Think about that when it comes to the things that you wish to share and do. And not only that, think about it with the things you want to create in your life, the things you want to do in your life, you know, because this is important stuff, because your life is your life. And you are able to live it and govern what happens in your life to a very, very high degree. And those of you that believe that you don't, it is okay. It's just because you have no evidence yet. Okay? Those people that do not believe you can control and change your life is simply because you don't have any evidence of that change yet. And I understand it. And who am I to tell you differently? But every single component and part of my life has shown that I can change every facet of it. I can change my consciousness, my looks, my body, the things that happen around me, the way people deal with me, the way people treat me, the things that I'm going to experience in the future. I can change it all. And all because I understand on a fourth dimensional level and then into a fifth dimensional level exactly who it is that I am. So I hope that you found this interesting today, and this video gave you guys something to think about. And as always, I truly, truly love you, and I appreciate you all for everything that you're doing and just being yourself. It's important, you know. So take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next video.